Hello everyone, Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International here. I was just going live and I was prattling on for about 10 minutes and turns out that the live video feed crashed after about a minute or so because our lovely new camera died. Very, very frustrating. So anyway, hopefully this is all coming through nicely again now. And we will start again from the top. So this is, as I was saying before, a really great opportunity. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it really is a great opportunity for people to take charge of their lives again. And this is what I want to cover in tonight's video, because a lot of people are really struggling with this shutdown, this lockdown, this quarantine. Everyone's calling it different things at the moment. And look, a lot of people are struggling being with their kids 24/7. A lot of people are struggling being with their partner 24/7. A lot of people are just struggling just being with their own thoughts 24/7. Really, trying to get their head around what's really going on. What does this all mean? Thankfully, a lot of people, I think, realize this is much bigger than just a flu. This is much bigger than what the mainstream media are telling us. It is, but they don't necessarily know exactly what's going on. They're not sure really where to look. There's so much misinformation, there's so much disinformation, and they're really sort of struggling to figure it all out and come to terms with it. And the biggest issue, of course, is this constant barrage, this propaganda, this media fear that is being perpetuated at every opportunity. It is really, really sad to see. Again, I was at the shops today and I noticed that there's all these, plastic barriers in front of everyone's faces. Everyone's wearing these masks, everyone's wearing gloves, and they're really going to these extreme lengths, and they don't understand that the masks that they're wearing and the gloves that they're using actually trap more germs than they supposedly stop from being spread. It's quite crazy. You'd be much better off just doing normal things and just washing your hands. Now, of course, the problem with all of that is that all that is based and predicated on fear anyway, because most people still don't understand how viruses spread. So please, if you haven't yet watched it, I urge you to go to YouTube, okay, and watch a video. It's called Can You Catch a Virus? And it's by Tom Barnett. Okay, Can You Catch a Virus by Tom Barnett. All right, really, really powerful, really clear, really concise, and it's really going to help you get your head around the truth behind this whole COVID-19 crisis and what is really going on there, and how viruses are transmitted, how they're spread, and all the rest of it. And hopefully help a lot of people eliminate that fear, eliminate some of their concern about that. Now, having said that, I do want to make it really clear. Not everybody is yet ready for the truth. Not everybody is yet prepared and ready to wake up. So you can't force it upon people. So please, very important, be respectful of other people's beliefs. If they think that, you shouldn't come closer than 1.5 meters because you might sneeze on me or you might touch something and that's how I'm going to get a virus, be respectful of that. Understand that that's their beliefs and, let them have their beliefs. Okay, I still think it's important for people to be, at least socially responsible. Okay, so be aware of other people's beliefs. Don't poo-poo them. Don't try and force your beliefs onto others. Just drop hints. Just drop ideas. Okay, say to them, oh, have you thought about this? Have you considered this? Have you seen this video? Oh, have you read this article? Okay, drop hints, drop ideas. This is one of my favorite things to do as a success coach. As I tell people, I don't force anyone. I don't make anyone change. I don't, do any rocket science or magic spells. I just get people to think about things in ways that they might have otherwise not have thought about them. So one of my favorite ones is with people who smoke. I say, oh, gee, that's I wouldn't have thought that you would have been that easy to just control and stuff. They're like, what do you mean? I'm not easy to control. I'm not. Oh, I don't know, just this, little thing like 2 inches long, and it controls your life and tells you how to live and when you must and must not do things and stuff. And they're like, oh, it's not like that. Oh, okay, so you could just give up any time, could you? Oh, well, yeah. And they start thinking, they're like, wow, this little thing like 2 inches long is controlling my whole life. That's crazy. And that's it. It's not about, you must not smoke or do anything like that. Just drop the hint. Get people to think about things. Get them to think critically. This is what is vitally important right now, is getting people to think critically. Okay, but please don't force your opinions on anyone. Drop hints, drop ideas by all means. Try and inform them and educate them, but just realize not everyone is at, whatever the level that you're at is, and be mindful and respectful of that. So keeping that in mind, I have a few hints for you. Get your money out of the banks. Okay, I didn't say the hints were going to be subtle, did I? All right. But seriously, please get your money out of the banks while you still can. Okay? People still just don't get this. And again, if you don't understand the reasons why the banks are almost inevitably going to collapse, why those bail-in laws are almost inevitably going to be enacted, okay, please watch some of my other videos. I'm not going to go through it again tonight, okay? But at least think about it this way. If you took your money out and nothing happened for the next 3 to 6 months, and it was all a storm in a teacup, you could just go back to the bank and put it all back in, and you would have been none the worse off. But if something does happen, if things do go completely pear-shaped, you'll be forever grateful that you protected yourself. Okay, so please just think of things in those terms. Okay, the other thing that I've said on a couple of videos I want to remind everyone about, because we're hearing more and more of this, please be prepared for the internet to either go down completely or to become essentially unusable. Now, I believe it was last night, I'm not 100% sure because I was doing the radio show, but I believe it was last night that Channel 9 News did a story explaining how much pressure the internet's under, how much pressure the phone systems are under, because there are now hundreds of thousands of people working from home. People are doing, these kind of things, live videos, they're doing Zooms, they're doing video chats, messenger chats, FaceTime chats, they're logging in remotely and working from home. So all of this is putting a huge burden on the already, stretched and limited internet that we have in this country, especially compared to some other countries. So again, it's almost inevitable that it's going to get stretched to a point where it can no longer operate. Already, YouTube, Netflix, and I think one other group as well, has already changed the way that you download things. They've changed the bandwidth that it uses or something. I'm not an IT expert, never professed to be. But again, just logic dictates if there's that many people working from home, that many people on their phones, it is going to put an inordinate amount of stress on those systems. Now, we're only in week 1. Okay, please keep this in mind. I know a lot of you sort of think, well, I've lost my job and that's it. Okay, and you're upset about that, and I get that. But understand, this is just the beginning. There's a lot more job losses to come. Okay, a lot of the retailers that are still open now are not going to be in another week. All of the manufacturing that is still going on behind the scenes is not going to continue, because when the retailers close, there's no one left to sell the things that the manufacturers are manufacturing. Okay, so there's a lot more job losses to come. I don't want to cause any fear. I don't want to cause any panic. I don't want to be the messenger of doom and gloom. I'm just saying be realistic. Understand more job losses to come. More people are going to be home. They're either going to be working remotely from home where they can, or if nothing else, they're going to be so upset that they've lost their job, they're going to be sitting there on YouTube and Netflix and and surfing the net. So again, just think about this. Prepare yourself for this. How would the internet or phone systems going down affect your ability to communicate with your friends and family? Okay, this is something you need to consider. All right. Now, not only that, but how would the internet either going down or essentially becoming unusable because it was just so slow, how is that going to affect all those tap and go and all those pay wave systems? All right. Again, it might come down to the fact that it's only the supermarkets and chemists or something that are open. All right. How are you going to pay for that medicine that you desperately need? How are you going to pay for that food that you need to put on your family's table if the internet's down or unusable and you're basically looking at no pay wave facilities. You're going to have cash. Okay, so please get some cash out now while you still can. Now, this is something else I addressed on last night's radio show. So if you missed last night's radio show, I am going to upload it to the podcast area as soon as I finish this live video. So all our members will be able to jump on and listen to that in case they missed it. But one of the points that I raised is a lot of the retailers that are still open are really pushing for people to stop using cash. They're really, saying, either no cash accepted here or, pay wave, tap and go preferred. All right. And they're doing it under the guise of safety, security, all this rubbish that it's spreading the virus. Now, as we explained on last night's show, that is categorically untrue. Now, I might have misspoken. I might have referenced the Perth Mint. It's not the Perth Mint. It's the Royal Australian Mint. So go to ramint.gov. Okay, ramint.gov, it might even be .gov.au. Go to the news and press releases tab, and it's about a fourth or the fifth story down, and it clearly says coins and polymer notes do not and cannot transmit this virus. Okay, and they recommend that you still use and accept cash at every opportunity. So please don't be blindsided by that. Please don't be brainwashed by this whole, cash is going to spread the virus rubbish. Okay, and again, if you find others that do still believe that, again, don't tell them off, don't get angry at them, but just gently try and educate them, gently try and inform them of this, and just let them know that maybe they might need to go and read these articles so they can find out this stuff for themselves, so that they're not just blindly led by the media. All right, so the other thing that I want to point out, and I touched on this again on last night's radio show, and this is a real concern to me at least, and that is the fact that all the gun shops around Australia are now being closed. Now, they're doing this under the auspices of, we've had way too many applications for gun licenses. So what? What on earth has that got to do with keeping gun shops open for those who are already legitimate gun owners, who've got registered rifles, who've already got their legitimate shooter's licenses? Okay, what impact could you having thousands of applications possibly make on those genuine, good, law-abiding citizens, whatever you want to refer to them as? Okay, it can have nothing. It can also be absolutely nothing to do with COVID-19. There is no suggestion that it's got to stop the transmission of COVID-19 or anything like that. Okay, so you've got to ask yourself, what are they worried about? What are they preparing for? What are the government, what are they thinking about here? Okay, and whatever it is, you want to be aware of it. You want to be prepared for it too, because they're obviously very scared. They're obviously getting themselves prepared for something. So you want to be aware of it, and you want to be prepared for it as well. So again, I just wanted to make that point, because that's definitely a serious issue that's come up in the last. Well, I think it started about a week ago in WA, and then went to Queensland, and now it's happened in Victoria as well. So be aware of that. Again, it's not time for panic. It's not time for freaking out, but it's definitely time for preparation. Now, what might be time for a little bit more escalation is the fact that Victorian Police Minister Lisa Neville is now urging people to dob in their neighbours who are breaking quarantine or breaking lockdown. In Western Australia, there's a proposal to put trackable ankle bracelets on people who break quarantine. Now, again, I'm absolutely all for being socially responsible, 100%. But this is going too far. This is taking things to a whole other level. Dob in a neighbour, put a trackable ankle bracelet on. Come on, guys, this is crazy stuff. Okay, this is well and truly a police state. All right, this is straight out of George Orwell's 1984. We can't let this happen. Okay, and rest assured, if it happens, it's because we have allowed it to happen, because we've let it happen. And this is my greatest concern. This is a genuine, honest concern for me, because it really does sadden and worry me that so many people around the planet have just rolled over and bought into the lies and just said, yep, no worries. I'm going to lock myself down because my government has said so. We have all just handed over our power and said, sure, government, you know better than I do. You know what's best for me. You know what's best for my family. So I'm just going to blindly believe you. Okay, again, I'll say it again. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the video, Can You Catch a Virus by Tom Barnett on YouTube. And you'll realize that all of this lockdown, shutdown, quarantine stuff is a load of garbage. Okay, now surely a lot of people realize that and understand that already. I know a lot of people don't, but the fact that they're just so easily prepared to just roll over and lock themselves inside because their government said so, that's a real worry. And remember, it's not even that, it's even worse than that, because there was a whole bunch of people begging the government to please shut us down and lock us down. Look at all the teachers. They're all saying, please shut down the schools so we can be locked up. Okay? I mean, this is crazy. When people beg the government to lock them up, you know you've got some serious brainwashing going on. Okay, so please, this crisis is a big crisis. As I've said before, it's an economic crisis. It is most assuredly not a health crisis. Now, as I've also said before, economy, money is just a tool. Okay, it's just a tool for control. So this is a control crisis. So I'm urging all of you watching this, listening to this, don't let our legacy from the COVID-19 crisis be the whole planet just rolled over, gave away their power arbitrarily, and just handed it over to the government. That should not be our legacy. This lockdown time, this quarantine time should be an opportunity for people to learn about their rights, for people to regain their control, for people to design what they want their lives to be like, and for people to start taking charge, taking a stand for their rights, and of course taking responsibility for their actions as well. Because here's the thing, if everybody did that, we wouldn't need government. Because again, as I said on a recent video, the word government comes from the word govern. The word govern, go and look it up in the dictionary, means to limit. Okay, we are limitless beings. Okay, depending what your belief is, we were created in God's image. We are co-creators. Okay, no matter what your belief system is, we are limitless beings. Why are we allowing ourselves to be limited by the word of, Muppets in a, suit and tie sitting in a big house somewhere? Okay, this is absolutely crazy. So please use this time wisely. Please use this quarantine time to jump on the various websites. There's tons of free information there. Okay, go and grab our ebooks. Okay, read those. Okay, jump onto YouTube and watch educational videos. Inform yourself, educate yourself, but most importantly, start thinking critically. Start asking questions. Okay, that's what you need to do now, because when you ask those questions, you will find the answers. The Bible tells us, seek and ye shall find. Look for answers. There are plenty out there. You'll find them. And once you find them, you'll realize how badly we've been screwed over, how badly we've been controlled, how badly we've been brainwashed. And you'll be fired up, you'll be excited, you'll be energized about creating a whole new world, a whole new country, a whole new planet for everybody. And when we all do that together collectively, we harness the power of our collective consciousness. That's what's going to ultimately make a difference. That's what's going to shape this planet. And that's what's going to make all of this crisis that we're experiencing right now well and truly worthwhile. Okay, so please ensure that you make that your legacy. Please remind yourself that you are a co-creator, you are a limitless being, and use this opportunity to connect with other souls, to connect with other people, and let's harness that together. Because here's the thing, there are plenty more of us than there are of them. Okay, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Okay, if you've ever gone out camping and you've wandered around, you've been bitten on the toe by a bull ant, you quickly squash it and squish it out. And again, that's what they do to us. When one person tries to stand up against the system, they quickly try and rub them out and squash them out. Okay, but if you've ever accidentally kicked an entire bull ant's nest and you've got 1,000 bull ants all running after you, you hightail and you run. Okay, this is what the bankers did in Iceland. Okay, they all ran, they all left, and those that didn't got jailed. Okay, this is what we need to do to us. We need to be the bull ants to government. We need to bombard them with emails, with my will letters, okay, letting them know that we're on to their game. We understand our rights. We're taking back our power, and we're not going to let them control us anymore. And when we do that collectively, when we realize that there are so many more of us than there are of them, which of course is exactly what they're scared about, which of course is exactly why they're closing down the gun shops, okay, we can start to realize the true power that we have. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, stay safe out there, be prepared, and I'll be back with more live updates once I can hopefully fix our camera. Take care.